ESG is kind of one of many factors that's driving the market at the minute, and we're seeing a lot of change, a lot of momentum moving into it as well. In terms of, I think energy is a key part. So, what's the cost of my energy? Because that's gone up an awful lot in markets in the last year, let alone the last 5 years. How can I manage that? How can I look at that in terms of making my assets that I occupy or that I own more energy efficient, better operational carbon? They're clearly some of the key targets for investors and occupiers now that from the occupier side regulation is changing. But yeah, while there's a real kind of motivation and push towards that, there's still a complete lack of evidence because we're at such a nascent stage in terms of how do you really make your energy or your buildings much more energy efficient and better from an operational carbon standpoint. How do you kind of get that back? So what's the cost of doing it? A, can you get that back in terms of reducing the cost to an occupier, but perhaps charging them a higher rent? So the cost to them to occupy doesn't change, but you can somehow capitalize an income stream from it. Yeah, but we're at really early stages in terms of how that's all going to pan out. In principle, that could really drive a strong premium of assets just by capitalizing that increase in rent, and it could lift your asset value by up to 10%. In some markets it's higher, in some lower, because it's lower in markets where they're already quite advanced in terms of having low-cost energy and more efficient buildings. So the market is really mixed in terms of where it's at, but this is clearly a big factor for the investment community and the occupier community to get right as part of this journey towards transitioning to a better, cleaner, more carbon-free world.